G'day everyone, I'm Dave, and today we're going to be talking about lawnmower blades. It's time of the season where everyone's starting to get their lawnmowers out, do a bit of cutting, and quite often that blade's been sitting in your machine for a little bit. So it's a perfect time of the year, as you do regular maintenance as well, to just pop that blade off and do a quick sharpening onto it. When you're taking off the bolt that's on these, always look at which side is the sharp side, which direction is going to be turning, and that tells you which way to turn the bolt. Whether we're dealing with saw blades or grinder wheels, the same idea. If the blades are this way and it's turning, cut that way, you turn the bolt in the exact same direction it cuts. So once we get the blade off, first thing to do is get rid of any kind of loose rust on both sides, our trusty wire wheel, coarse goggles or face mask, and just go across it. We don't need to worry about getting right down to the bare metal. All we're worried about is getting rid of all that loose rust. We'll flip it over. So the same idea on this side. And there we go. Not a whole lot of work. Makes a huge difference. You know, we're not trying to make this thing super pretty. All we're trying to do is get anything loose off it, dirt off it, and everything else. They sell these little sharpeners. They're not expensive, $5, $10 depending on where you are. To be honest, I've never ever used one of these in my life. We're actually going to try it just to see how well it does. Well, we are taking a little bit of metal off. With that, I think I'll be at this all day long. So we're going to actually go the method I typically use, because it doesn't really matter which method. Use whichever one you're comfortable with. In the end, we're going to be balancing the blade. So if I take too much metal off using a grinding wheel, not a problem. We'll adjust it at the very end. Or if I got the time and I want to use that, or if I'm totally uncomfortable, of course, file works. It's a matter of how much patience you have. Now you see the 1 or 2 passes already. She's coming up pretty fast. Let me just close it up and come from a different angle. So now that we got with the bevel we want, we got the sharpness we want, of course we flip it over, do the same thing to the other side. And again, the same idea, if there's any notches, we can knock them down first and then put the bevel, and roughly the same bevel on both sides. And you can tell how fast that was using your grinder. And then our very last step we want to do is balance that blade. A little spike with a cup that sits on top that'll flip in any direction. You take your blade, make sure it sits evenly in there, sit it on top of that, and then right away I'll know which side's heavy, which side's light. This side's heavy, it needs more grinding. Just make sure for sure that's sitting in the proper level. You can still see it's heavy on that side. It'll also tell me if front is heavier or the back's heavier. Wherever the weight is, in this case of this side, that's the side I have to grind on. And it's somewhat obvious because I just took off a whole pile of metal over here to sharpen this side. So obviously I'm going to have to do the same thing here. So you keep hitting it with the grinder until you get that blade absolutely perfectly balanced. Once we get it perfectly balanced and everything's good, quick spray paint and your blade's back up and you're ready to do more mowing. Thanks so much for watching. For more tips, tricks, tools, and teardowns, please check out our other videos. And don't forget to subscribe.